Alright guys, we have some breaking news. This news is immense for Dragon Ball GT fans, especially those that grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, watching Dragon Ball GT and falling in love with the transformation that is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now, this information is piggybacked off information that I broke on a few months ago, talking about the lead designer for Dragon Ball Daima. And today, we found out huge information on not only who is the lead designer for Dragon Ball Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but we have a new look, official look, at the character sheets for Super Saiyan 4 Goku in his many forms, faces. Before I begin, let me know in the comments if you prefer Dragon Ball GT's Super Saiyan 4, or do you like Dragon Ball Daima Super Saiyan 4? I have a poll in my community tab. Go ahead and vote there. You can also vote in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit that like button if you are in love with Dragon Ball Daima as much as I am. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm not going to keep you waiting here. I'm going to tell you exactly who the lead designer is for Dragon Ball Daima, and that is Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru. Now, this is something that came out a few months ago, saying exactly who the lead designer was for all the designs that we see, all the character designs that we see in Dragon Ball Daima, including the Z fighters that are now mini versions of themselves or children. So he's the one that created all this stuff, and he honestly did a fantastic job, not only with Goku's adult and child design, but I feel like everybody looks appropriate and not too childlike. They all look like they're just mini versions of the adult, which is exactly what they are, which I like and prefer a lot more. But this guy is not only the one that created Bardock, the design for Bardock, but also he is the original character designer for Dragon Ball GT. That's right. What you see in Dragon Ball GT is the birthright of Nakatsuru. This is the stuff that he created, he designed with input with Akira Toriyama as well, similar to Dragon Ball Daima, and I think it is such a huge deal, and honestly something that, again, and I said it before in my previous video, but I'll say it again, I love the fact that Dragon Ball Daima is essentially created, designed, and made with the intention of being a successor, if not a recreation of Dragon Ball GT, really putting to bed a lot of Dragon Ball GT fans' unrest, I would say, with the fact that they have not been focused on or loved on as much as other fans from Dragon Ball Z or even Dragon Ball Super. This is for Dragon Ball GT fans, and I think it's safe to say that Dragon Ball Daima is basically Dragon Ball GT, even has the same character designer of Dragon Ball GT, but that's not all, because Nakatsuru, he also is the lead designer that created Super Saiyan 4. That is right, the Super Saiyan 4 that we all fell in love with. He is the one that created that design, and Akira Toriyama put the green light on it because he loved it as well. This is huge because Nakatsuru, he is also the designer of the new Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball Daima. They have the same creator. So for anybody really upset with the fact that Dragon Ball Daima's GT Goku looks different than the original, and maybe you don't like the changes, just know, even if you don't like the design changes, I understand a lot of people do not like the design changes, this Goku is essentially the same as the GT one, and they have the same father. The same creator designed both of them and made the necessary changes to update Dragon Ball GT's Super Saiyan 4 Goku into the 2025 year, and honestly I think he did a great job with him. He looks fantastic. He definitely focuses on a lot of monkey traits. He is red, he has dragon breath kind of, and a key that is really Saiyan, but at the same time he uses his red key that kind of feels like God key. So honestly, did a great job with Dragon Ball Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But now we have these character sheets for Dragon Ball GT Goku, and these are huge. Huge shout out to Anime AJ. This is where I got him from. I'll leave a link to his video in the description below in the top comment. Make sure you go ahead and check it out. He's got a lot more information for you guys when it comes to the designer and the animators and all that stuff. But these are the character sheets right here. So which one is your favorite one out of this first example of character sheets? Because for me, it's definitely the Goku on the bottom right. I think that this one is definitely giving like I'm about to throw a huge spirit ball at you type of Goku, but they all look really neat, and it is clear to say that the design of Goku having these huge Wreck-It Ralph giant forearms, monkeyish gorilla giant forearms, they were meant to be that way from the beginning. And another design trait that I think is extremely unnecessary, probably my least favorite part of this version of Goku, and I think that it just, I mean, if you just colored it in, it wouldn't change much, and that is that the sleeve hair on his under forearm is more of his regular skin instead of fur. I don't know what the reasoning behind this is, besides the fact that they wanted to make him look a little bit different than Super Saiyan 4 Goku even more. But again, Nakatsuru is the same guy that created GT Goku, so he created these, and I have to respect the fact that he did this for a reason. In this one, we get a lot more of the faces. Now, some of these faces, I had to go back and rewatch the episode because I don't remember a lot of these, especially the surprise ones, but there were a few. They're just kind of like smaller frames in between a lot of the stuff that's going on, because there are a lot of things going on in this episode. So I think that most of these are used for the most part. Now, the reason I had to go through each and every one of these is mainly due to the fact that I was trying to see if there was one we did not see yet that we could possibly see in the future, meaning that Kid Super Saiyan 4 Goku will return, even though at the end of the last episode we saw Glorio essentially wish them back to be adults. But I looked at all these faces and these were all in the episode. And then we have a side-by-side from the front and the back. This is probably the clearest image of the entirety of Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku, and you can tell that his hair is essentially Super Saiyan 4 Goku, GT Goku's hair. The fur is the exact same, and the hair is the same color as the fur. Red eye, similar to Dragon Ball's Super Saiyan, or Beast Gohan, I guess, not Super Saiyan, Beast Gohan. The forearms, the hands are way bigger than the feet. The hands are the biggest thing. The hands are as big as his head. So these things are huge, and I like the fact that he's got big hands like this. I think that it's going to transition over when he becomes an adult, if he goes into Super Saiyan 4, which I think he will, that his hands are going to be like twice the size, 3 times the size. And then the only other difference is probably the chest hair is like a really interesting pattern here. It looks like it covers more of his chest, definitely covering the nipples, I guess. Maybe that's the point of that. But besides that, I think he looks really phenomenal. And honestly, these look very similar to the character sheets that we got for Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku. A lot of the same poses and faces. You can tell that he definitely took a lot of inspiration from these. But this is great. Another huge amount of love from the Dragon Ball GT creators for Dragon Ball Daima. I'm glad that they went this route, and honestly, I think we're all really happy that Dragon Ball GT is finally getting the love and dedication that it deserves. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.